Hey, what's up guys, Loki here, back at it again with another YouTube video. Today we're going to be going over the Pride 1 tier lists, but yeah, let's just get right into it. It's going to be a quick video. This won't be 40-50 minutes, I promise. So I'm just going to give my initial thoughts on the character and if I think they belong there or not. So we got a few categories here: damage dealer, characters that focus on dealing direct damage and can perform their role unhindered by enemy type, enemy element, or team composition. These are basically just characters, I can already tell you, like Jing Liu, right? Characters like Jing Liu that just, it does not matter what your toughness is, it doesn't matter what your like element is, I am going to nuke you because my damage is so front loaded, it's insane. Then we have the specialist, characters that excel under specific circumstances, carrying a unique role that often requires a different and divergent playstyle. For example, breakers can deal monstrous burst damage or crippling crowd control and synergies. Introduce entirely new team archetypes. Amplifier, characters that do not focus on dealing damage but instead amplify the other team's damage by granting allies buffs or debuffing enemies. Okay, so that's gonna be your Ron Maze. And then sustain our healers like Luocha, HuoHuo, Bailu, characters like that. So all right, so let's see. Special marks are explain, RNG machine. Yeah, that's definitely QQ. But yeah, let's just take a look at the tier list. So first off, in E0 we have Jing Liu. Like I said, E0 Jing Liu S+, the best damage dealer in the goddamn game. And yeah, we're just gonna be going over Memory of Chaos as well, because I think it's very hard to make a tier list when there's so many different game modes, right? Like there are certain characters that are very good from a Memory of Chaos, and there's certain characters that I would just never bring to MOC just because of their kit, like Silverwolf, right? But like even Pure Fiction, I wouldn't bring her to Pure Fiction either, but I would totally bring her to Golden Gears, especially if I have this Celestial Annihilation buff. I have not found a updated 1.6 blessings tier list yet, but once I find that, I want to make a blessings tier list so bad, but no one's made one yet. So I need to find like a tier. I need to make my own tier maker. I guess I could just log into the game and just go over the blessings and say where I would put them. I guess I could do that as well, but that's a video I've really wanted to make for a long time. Amplifiers, right? Amplifiers were characters that do not focus on dealing damage. They buff the other team's damage. Bronya, incredible. She's giving you free crit damage, she's giving you your turn, and also amplifying your damage with her skill. Like there isn't too much you can say about Bronya. She's just nuts, and she will be nuts for a very long time, especially if you have her signature light cone. I personally don't have her signature light cone, but the damage increase is insane. And then next, moving on to Ron May. Obviously deserves to be here, S+ tier. Probably the best support in the game, honestly. I don't know if it matters if like who's in front or not, but she should probably be in front of Bronya. She's insane. If you don't have this character, I don't know what you're doing. I actually found out something interesting yesterday. If you have E1 Ron May, then the quantum set is best in slot for like every unit in the game because of the defense ignore. That's actually kind of nuts. I did not get her E1. Maybe on the rerun we'll see if we can get her E1, but I'm happy with her. I recently just got like a god build going on her. I finally hit I think it's like 150 speed, so I get the extra speed from the two-piece I forget the name of the set. It's like a Talia or something, the break effect set. And then in sustain we have Fushuan, best sustainer in the game. You will not see me run Simulated Universe and not bring Fushuan, especially if it's like high difficulty. The damage reduction is absurd. You essentially need her if you're gonna run her in that type of content. So necessary in MOC. She's very good in MOC, not necessarily necessary. Like you can clear it without bringing her. But Pure Fiction, her ult, AoE ult does very good damage. She gets crit rate in her kit, so you can build a little bit of crit rate and crit damage on her and have her ult hit pretty hard. So And in addition to that, she's giving your team crit rate, which, you know, obviously yesterday we all got a free doctor ratio, and I think I'm at like, I didn't really like pre-farm for him too much. So with her being on the team, giving him an extra, I think it's like, was it 12%? It's either 12 or 15. I don't remember off the top of my head, but the extra crit rate getting that you get from her talent is massive. It is massive, and it makes me not miss those crits that I would have otherwise missed. If you don't have 100% crit rate, it's basically 50-50. That's what it feels like sometimes. You can say about him, like his talent. I've personally been running him with Silver Wolf because I feel like that's one of his best teammates, like I said in the previous video, especially if you run her signature light cone, because then you can use just basic attack, and I believe that's like 3 debuffs with her with just a basic attack, which is an 80% chance for his skill to follow up. However, if you do use her skill, it adds the res pin, and then so it'll be like defense down, attack down, or speed down, res pin, and then it's ether code because it's signature light cone, and I think there's one more. I think there is one more. I can't remember, but that would be 4 debuffs after her Q, and then that's a 100% chance for his skill to follow up. So very, very, very good character. Like I said, I would like to see some more single target content in this game, and I do believe that is coming soon. Hopefully, wink wink, hopefully we get more single target bosses where it's just one boss, one guy, and there isn't, you know, they're not summoning ads. So these two are gonna shine if we ever, wink wink, get content like that. So moving on, Imbiber Lune. Incredible character, fantastic character. I can see why he's not S+ tier. He is S+ damage for sure, but being so skill point heavy, I totally see why he's S tier. I personally don't have the character, so I haven't had a lot of practice with him. I have used him in like trials and events. Like right now there's a current event where you get to use an Imbiber Lune. It has this, I think it has a signature light cone, but they have the worst stats of all time. So but even still, he was hitting like, it's hard to say in the event because the enemies don't really take too much damage until their weakness broken, but I did see about 400k damage because I did run him with Ron May, and he had like 90%, I think he has like 80-90% crit damage in the event. So all right, listen, she has the RNG thing right here, which is the RNG machine. Very RNG character. E6 QQ being in the S tier. I love QQ. Everyone that knows me knows I love this character. I love running propagation with her. She makes use of propagation better than any character in the game other than an Imbiber Lune. Her damage is solid. It's incredible. Obviously she gets better at E6. I have her at E4, I believe, which means if I use her in Simulated Universe and I get cheese, that puts her at E5, which just makes her a bit better, but you know, E6 does make her more complete. I love this character. I would not put her in S tier though. I would put her in A tier. If we're talking about MOC, I guess we're talking about MOC specifically. Yeah, I'm not putting her over Blade in MOC. Nah. They're like, I'll explain why when we get to Blade, but I would put her like in A tier for sure. She's definitely an A tier character, but she's like a secret 5-star. But again, that RNG factor, I can't stand RNG. RNG is so annoying. That RNG factor can screw you over. I mean, you can just restart your run, sure, but it gets annoying. But she really does shine in the Simulated Universe. If you have E4 or higher QQ, definitely give her a try with propagation in the Simulated Universe. And then moving on to Zila in the S tier. Zila's a character that it's always her turn, right? You always hear the meme, it's always her turn. It's never not her turn, if you're playing her correctly at least. So her damage is like, she doesn't have Jing Liu damage, but with the introduction of Sparkle, I think her value will go up. She will still remain in the S tier, but fantastic character. She's S in Pure Fiction. I actually didn't use her in Pure Fiction. I might actually have to try her out, just because, you know, it's always her turn. Maybe run her with like Bronny or something, just so I want to try that. Actually, I'm gonna try that after I upload this video. I'm gonna try that. I'm gonna run her with Bronny and like Ron May and maybe like a Pela or something, and just see if I can beat my highest score in Pure Fiction. I'm gonna see. And then moving on to these specialists. Kafka. They have this symbol next to it, which means a character whose power drastically increases when one or more specific characters accompanies them on their team. These characters are often the focal point of the compositions they are part of and open up a new archetype of gameplay. If we're talking MOC, so yeah, MOC, Pure Fiction, S. I agree. Yeah, she belongs in S tier. She has really good damage. And then if you happen, I know this is E zero, but if you do happen to have her E1, she essentially gets Sampo's ultimate buff without having to use Sampo on the team. And when Black Swan comes out, this character is going to be even better. I would assume so, because Black Swan's a Nihility character, and Nihility characters benefit with Kafka on their team, so I would assume Black Swan and her would work well together. But yeah, whenever I begin my hardest runs in Simulated Universe, the floor 5s, the difficulty 5s, I usually start with Nihility. And I've had a lot of success with Nihility. I know we're talking about MOC. I always bring her to MOC if an enemy has lightning weakness. I bring like her, like she gets her ultimate so fast as well, especially if you have her signature light cone, because of the extra speed you're getting, so you're constantly going multiple times a cycle. Fantastic character. She even works well with this next character, Topaz. A lot of people hate on Topaz, and it's weird. I think a lot of people have this like FOMO about them, where they want to justify the reason they didn't pull for the character, like, oh, she's bad. And no, Topaz is great. Topaz is amazing. Follow-up hits, in addition to buffing other follow-up characters like Dr. Ratio by 50%, is really nuts. And she also has her like own damage. Her own damage is nothing to like sneeze at, right? So there's like, I don't have the character, but I have tested her a lot, and this is one character that I really wish I had on my account. We're probably not gonna get a Topaz rerun until like, what month is it? January, until like April or like May, maybe even like June. It's gonna be a minute, but I want this character so bad, because I do want to run her with I guess I can say it now. In the beta, I did run Topaz, Dr. Ratio, Silver Wolf, and Fushuan in a single target fight versus Cocolia in the current event there that just came out. And I would have not been able to S plus that without, well, I guess it was a lot harder in the beta. It seems like they've nerfed the event a bit, because that toughness bar, like even with Ron May in your team, that did not break. I swear that toughness bar did not break. That event was so hard when it came out, and there's a even more difficult event after you complete the normal one. So they did nerf the event and make it a bit easier. So it's kind of brain dead now, but we'll see when the next difficulty comes out in the next few days, if it's still like relatively difficult, or if, because it felt like I had to be a whale the SS anything on the hardest difficulty. But yeah, the basic one's pretty simple now. I love Topaz. She's fantastic. Moving on, another amplifier, E6 Pela. I used to really, I'm not gonna lie, I used to be a hater. I used to be a hater because I had Silver Wolf and I was like, I never have to use Pela again. And I've also played a crap ton of Simulated Universe, so I'm always bringing Silver Wolf and trying to get Celestial Annihilation just to make things easier. But when it comes to MOC, Pela's significantly better. I can say that now. She's just significantly better. I've built my Pela. I actually gone with the Gotcha Smack route of running the defense set that where you get more, well, the defense 2P set where you get more defense based on your effect hit rate to make her a bit more tanky, because I got tired of her dying. I saw Gotcha Smacker on that and I was like, yeah, that's a good idea, I'm about to do that shit. So that's how I run my Pela now, or I believe. So I don't actually know how she performs at E6, but I have seen a few 0 cycles from people, and it seems like if they didn't have E6 it wouldn't have been a 0 cycle, or it would have taken them a lot longer. What does her E6 do? I don't even remember. Let's see real quick. Where are you? Where are you? I'm blind. 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 Yep. E6, E6, E6. Ultimate generates 10 more energy for the target ally, which can be huge, especially if you're running like HuoHuo on the same team, right? Because then you see more ultimates. Yeah, so that probably matters. If you're doing a 0 cycle and you know your character's like, what's the base? What's the base? It's 50 energy, right? Your character has 40 energy. Something like this is gonna matter, and it's gonna be huge. So let's see. So yeah, I mean, I agree with her being S tier. She's incredible. I don't see her moving down anytime soon. I agree with her being S in pure fiction as well. Probably wouldn't put her in. I mean, she's very skill point positive. I was thinking if she should be like S plus, but I guess it doesn't really matter. But yeah, she deserves to be where she is. She's a really great character. And then we have sustainers. HuoHuo. They have her in S plus tier. I mean, she can keep your team alive in pure fiction, and then she also offers energy for your entire team. Something like that's invaluable, and she cleanses multiple debuffs as well. I do wish her signature light cone was a better and offered something more, but because I didn't go for it, because it just seemed kind of like average. But she does deserve to be in the S tier. There's too much you could say about her. She's a very good character. I'm glad I pulled for her. So Luocha, another character I do have. S in MOC and then A in pure fiction, but they have him overall S. I agree for sure. I know a lot of people were making videos when HuoHuo first came out saying like, oh, she completely power creeps Luocha, but I feel like they have their own separate uses. The extra energy is nice. Luocha's ultimate can actually do a decent amount of damage, and it can break toughness and imprison enemies. So something like that is invaluable almost. You can also strip a debuff from an enemy, in addition to having a heal that you don't even have to use a skill point to proc. Something like that is very, very, very good. So I mean, he definitely deserves to be in an S tier 100%. Now we get down to, now it gets interesting, right? They have Argenti in A tier, and then S plus in pure fiction. I do think he's gonna go down to S in pure fiction, because the next pure fiction's dot focused, I believe that was announced. Hope so. But him having AoE with a very powerful ultimate, some of the highest scaling in the entire game, is very good. And then his skill hits every enemy on the field, I believe. I don't have the character, but I have tested him a bit, so I believe that's the case. He's a good character. He's solid. He's a solid character, but there isn't anything spectacular about him. And here's the one I don't agree with. They have Blade, and I would put Blade in S tier. The reason I would put Blade in S tier is because there are times where you will wombo combo an enemy and it's very easy to achieve. Sure, there's a little bit of RNG to it. Maybe you put the RNG tag on him, because you do need the enemy to attack you a certain amount of times. However, you do proc, especially if you run Jing and Blade together, she's going to drain his HP and give you that follow-up attack sooner. But there are times where you will skill, ultimate, and follow up in the same turn for massive damage. It'll be like follow up 180,000, skill 100,000, ultimate 100,000. You know, so he's extremely capable of doing that. So I would put him in S tier, probably in like the lower end of S tier. Then we have Clara. I actually have E2 Clara. I love my Clara. The first ever swarm disaster I ran, I think it was like Disruption Clara or something, and she just like smoked everything. But again, that RNG factor of having to be attacked, right? If her ultimate required less energy, maybe she would be an S tier, but there is a bit of an RNG factor. And then her signature Lycon's pretty good as well. You get health back on being attacked. The only thing I wish her signature light cone gave crit stats as well, not just the attack, but because it would make it a bit easier to build her. But with the new follow-up attack set, she's fantastic. Luocha is a character I've used, or sorry, I moved out to Luocha. We got my boy King Yuan down here. So Jin Yuan actually had this character as well with the signature light cone, and I believe he was an A tier or S tier previously. I think they moved him down. MOC Perfection A tier. The issue with Jin Yuan is it takes decades for Lightning Lord to come out. If there was a way to amplify that to make it sooner, like based on his like speed, like if Lightning Lord didn't have his own speed and it was based on like Jin Yuan speed, then you could speed tune him in a way to where he would deal more damage. But Lightning Lord takes way too damn long for the damage it does, so I do see why he is an A tier entire game. So he does work well with Kafka in that regard. Big fan of Luocha. I actually really like him. Sweet. Tough. I guess we're talking AOS. Okay, so I think MOC in Perfection, she is A tier, sure. Or she's B tier in Perfection. Yeah, I get that because she's single target. But her skill does hit middle and adjacent. So then her ult is really good. That's E6 though. So E2, when you do your like follow-up attack thing, you can actually break toughness bars with that. And if you have Ron May on the team, then you're consistently breaking toughness bars. So she's one of those characters. She's a secret 5-star. She's very, very good. The only I guess I would put her in A tier in term if we're going off of how hard she is to build, because she is very hard to build. You want crit rate, you want crit damage, and you want break effect. She is selfish as fuck. So yeah. Asta, fantastic character. Her skill hits multiple enemies. If they have fire weakness, she's gonna break them. And then her ult's gonna give you that speed boost, allowing you to go multiple times in a cycle. Fantastic character. She's solid character. Rarely do you see a character that comes out with the release of the game stay in A tier for this long. So Asta's really, really good, and I do have E6 Asta, so I really like my Asta. Hanya deserves to be here as well. I did run her with who did I run her with? I think it was like Blade, Bronya, Hanya, and like Sustain or something, or maybe even like Pela, because I'm usually out of skill points because I'm constantly pushing my Blade forward because my Blade's so slow. Having Hanya on the team kind of give you skill points back is very, very nice. In addition to her ult giving you, I believe it's an attack bonus and speed bonus. So, but I don't have her at E6. I think I have her at E2, or maybe I think it's E1 actually. So I don't know how well she performs at E6, but I definitely agree with her being an A tier regardless of E6 or not. E6 links, solid sustain, very good. Has a AoE cleanse, great character, deserves to be there. Repeat. So she's very good in that regard. I don't think I would put her in B. I'd probably put Herta and Himiko in like lower end of A for damage dealers. Sampo Koski, he deserves to be here. That's fair. Because I have him at E6, and even at E6, he just has energy problems. If his ult came up sooner, it would fix a lot. But he's a solid character, you know, especially like I run up sometimes with a Kafka, but when Black Swan comes out, I'm probably gonna like Sampo's gonna drop down to like C, maybe D tier low key, just because we're gonna have a win nihility. So moving on to Sushang, A tier. They have earned, okay. B tier for MOC, I don't agree. I think she's A tier for MOC, maybe even S at times, especially if there's, I guess, see, we just need more single target content, because I bet a lot of this is based on multiple enemies being on the field. But I would put her in A tier, because I think, let me see, because I have her at E6 as well. She was like the first character I got at E6. Let me see. I just want to make sure. I think it's a yeah, she's getting a damage boost from her trace. If enemies in the field are weakness broken, she's getting advance. This is a chance to make attacks by enemies. Oh, look at this. At E1, after using a skill against a weakness broken enemy, regenerates 1 skill point. Something like that is invaluable. That is very, very good. Very good. Yeah, I mean, I don't know, because we have like a character like Ron May now giving you extra speed. Stuff like this doesn't really like hit for me. You know what I mean? Like speed boosts. Like it's pretty easy to reach speed thresholds. You don't really need side sources. E4 is very good though. E4 is really good. She's so good at breaking. It's insane. I would put her in A tier. I don't agree with B tier. Same with Welt. I don't agree with Welt being in B tier at all. There are times like as long as you don't use Welt's ultimate on the enemies, like if the enemy has 2 back-to-back turns, or like one, like a turn and then a turn immediately after, you don't use it on the first one, you use it on the second one, and you'll just negate their entire progress, especially for like the monkey, right? Because the monkey like buffs himself and then he like jumps on your character that last used their skill. Whereas if you run Welt, this man can completely negate that. We saw that in the, you know, the tournaments they have in Honkai Star Rail. I don't know the name of them, or I think it's Vulcan that hosts them, if I remember correctly. We saw Gotcha Smack use Welt as a sustainer, pretty much negating the monkey, giving his team he hit a very good clear there. Very, very well played. It was incredibly well played. But yeah, A tier for sure. I don't agree with B tier. And he gets better with supports, and you can run him on the team with Kafka as well. Gwenaifen, I actually really like this character. Fire Kiss is a 21% buff to your damage. Well, it's 7%, but it's like up to 3 times, right? So Fire Kiss is pretty dope. I don't have her at E6. I don't think. I think I have her like E3, maybe, probably E2 or 3. So I don't necessarily know her value. I think she only gets an extra stack of Fire Kiss, or no, it's either an extra stack of Fire Kiss or, hold on, I don't want to be wrong. Let me see. At E6, she gets Fire Kiss stackable count by 1. So it'd be ×4 instead. So it's 28% damage increase. So I mean, that's pretty dope. I like Gwenaifen. I'm a big fan of her. Yukong. Character's very clunky, very. She's an A in pure fiction. Interesting. I guess because of her all single target though. I don't know why. Not the biggest fan of this character. She feels very clunky, even at E6. I have her at E6, and I just maybe if during Imbiber de Lune rerun, because I am planning on pulling for him, because I do want to run propagation with him and simulate a universe. Maybe I'll pull her out, but I don't like the way she plays. Not the biggest fan of the way she plays. Love the way she looks, hate the way she plays. Bailu is my second character in Honkai Star Rail. I got Clara, no, third. It would have been third because I lost my 50-50 when I immediately played the game to Clara. And then I got Zila, obviously. And then we got Bailu. Bailu's actually kind of slept on. I don't agree with Bailu and Japard being in B tier. I put them in A tier. Invigoration is slept on. Invigoration from Bailu is completely slept on. In addition to, let me see something. Yeah, so when you I haven't used Bailu in a minute. I forgot what Invigoration did. I just know it used to be good. Yeah, when you get hit, you restore HP based on Bailu's HP. It's actually dope, and Bailu's the only character in the game that can revive someone in your team. I've had that shit come in clutch many times. The worst thing about Bailu is her random heal. You can target one person on the field, and then the rest are random. So if multiple people are weak, then that's where Bailu falls off. Okay, so moving on to Japard. One of the strongest shield in the game. Man has a self revive. Maybe there hasn't been a reason for us to use shields yet. It's interesting he's a B in a pure fiction. I mean, I guess because he can freeze enemies pretty comfortably. But I'd probably put him in D tier, low key. Like, I'm not bringing Japard to. I mean, I guess it depends, right? Let's say you run Himiko, Urda, Ranmei, and then you just use like Japard to sustain your team. You can do that. And he also takes more aggro. And if you have a signature light cone, he gets a crap ton of defense. I think my Japard is like 4,000 defense. Like, my man's not getting one shot anytime soon. E6 character, she's actually pretty decent. I used her for a bit when I first started playing the game, but I mean, she deserves to be in that tier as well. I agree with that. Fire Trailblazer, if her shields were a bit bigger, maybe. What does the shield mean? The character specializes in dealing break damage. Okay, so they're saying if you're going up against fire enemies, that she'd probably even be like B tier. But I mean, Trailblazer, Fire Trailblazer, obviously we all used her when we first got the character. She sustained our team. She gave us a decent shield, but she gave aggro to her with a pretty high defense stat to where you're not gonna get nuked. March 7th for Immos. I mean, being able to freeze, do I put March in B? I know a lot of people love March 7th for Simulated Universe because she just enables free-to-play to just go off. I even made a video about it. She enables free-to-plays to just go off with the Remembrance Path. If you have enough effect hit rate. Being able to AoE freeze is kind of nuts. So yeah, I mean, normally I put my Japard artifacts on March, and I believe she heals at E6. I don't know how much it is, because I do have her at E6. She heals 4%. Hold on. So allies that have her shield restore HP equal to 4% of their max HP plus 106 at the beginning of the turn. So she does become a little tiny bit of a healer. I like March. I think she's belongs to probably like lower B tier, but I definitely think these two should be in A tier. Natasha was the healer everyone used when the game first came out, right? Everyone has a Natasha. Everyone probably has an E6 Natasha at this point, low key. But does she get anything crazy from E6? Yeah, we don't give a crap about that. That's a dog. That is a dog. E6. So yeah, I mean, I agree with her being there. And then Arlen, I agree. I think I have Arlen at E6. I have not touched that character, and I probably never will. Physical Trailblazer. I don't really get why Physical Trailblazer gets so much hate. But I guess when we're talking MOC and Pure Fiction, sure. It's just funny. We have Physical Trailblazers down here with Yan Ching. I actually got a 5-star yesterday. I streamed it on the standard banner because I know I was close to one. We got our 5-star, and it happened to be Yan Ching E1. That man's E1 does like 40% more damage to frozen enemies or whatever. He's still really bad. I don't know why he exists. He's still really, his light cone's not even that good. Yeah, he's just, I don't know, that character needs some work. But oh god, yeah, he's just not good. He's really just not good. But I mean, that was it. If you guys like, I would like to see everyone's opinions in the comment section. Some of my recordings got cut off a little bit, so but you get the gist of it. Try not to make this too long. I'm not sure how long it's going to be. It's probably going to be over 20 minutes, but yeah, let me know your opinions. I would like to know everyone's opinions. If you agree with Pride Wins tier list, if you disagree. But yeah, thanks for the support. I think we're at like 300 subs now, or it'll be like 299 at the time of this upload. Trying to get to 1,000. That's our goal. And then 10K, 20K, hopefully we make it. Eventually I want to be in the Honkai Star Rail content creator program. That'd be really nice. But yeah, I appreciate everyone's support. It means a lot. But I will catch you guys in the next video. Hopefully it'll be, I really want to make a simulated universe tier list. If I can find a way to do that, I will do that. Will probably be the next video. But if you guys have any opinions on what the next video should be, let me know. Leave it in the comment section. But I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.